Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen now. If you can see my screen, please just on your mic and comment that you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
I can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, so let's get started. So I believe everybody has their basic terminal on. This is what we're working with today. We're not really coding or anything. We're going to start with terminal, right? So first of all, let me start with the concept, the idea. Let me tell you something. There are different there are different ways you can operate your system, right? Everybody knows that there are different operating systems in general. We have the Windows, we have the one that runs your MacBook, we have your Linux, right? So those are the different operating systems. That's your Windows, so I say your iOS, and then your Linux. So for operating systems, like if someone has a maybe HP laptop or Dell laptop, maybe a laptop that is run by a Windows operating system, you see Microsoft Windows here. If anybody has that kind of operating system, they would notice that yeah, you can be able to easily operate your system through your command line and your GUI. Like, yes, you can come somewhere now and say, oh, I want to type something, I want to type something here, I want to type something here. You click this button, you click that button. Everything is easier, right? And then you also have your command line too. So you see that those are the two ways you can be able to operate your system. But then you see there are some operating systems like Linux. They run mainly based on a command line. Like, that's just anything you want to do. If you want to open an application, you have to type the command and open it. If you want to delete something, you have to type a command and delete it. But yeah, most people are either using a system that is run by Windows or a system that's run by Mac. So basically, let's just learn some few commands that you can use. Let's say you don't want to, like, maybe for some reason you're feeling experimental and then you want to run your system through your command line. Here are some things, because as a developer, right, it's really important why we're teaching this, because as a developer you have to know some commands. There are sometimes that your system, there might be too many things, so you're looking for something, you can just easily type a command and then it shows you some it shows you what you're looking for, right? And then there are also times, especially when we start entering into Git and GitHub. Yes, there is the GUI. GUI is a graphic user interface. That is, the part where you can click a button and something happens, or click another thing and something happens. Yes, there's that, but then there's also the command line. You can use commands to do some certain things. And even also when you come to running scripts, compiling things, most of these things are done through the command line. So because command line is kind of like, the way, that's how I usually see all these beams where they're like, okay, if they want to know somebody, the real developer, they should check, how much they use their command line, because most of the things, if you want to get something done faster and maybe there isn't even any GUI for it, there'll probably be a command, there'll most likely be a command for it, because that is like the basic way of doing tasks. So the GUI aspect is just to make everything user friendly. Like, oh, instead of you typing so command, why don't you just click this button and maybe something happens, or click another button and something happens. So let's see some basic commands. So let's first of all start with the change directory. Let's say you can see on my screen I'm on C/user/user. I think that's like the basic directory. So a directory is just basically where are you currently in your system. It's just like maybe if you open your file explorer now and you just want to check some files here and there, I don't know where you start from, but let's say you start from your local disk. As well, you're starting from your local disk, you see users. So a directory is just basically the particular location you are in at that point in time. So maybe if you are working on a web application or something. Maybe you put that web application in document slash, maybe you put it in document slash my first web app project. Okay. If you want to access it, you have to enter documents. Then you have to enter that folder before you access your files. So that's basically what a directory is. It's like where exactly, how are you arranging your things? Even you can see directories in like your physical files. So maybe you're someone that likes keeping files. Maybe the way you arrange your things is that maybe you keep all your school documents in one folder, but then inside that folder you have your 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level. So you have the 100 level documents in one folder, 200 level document in that folder. So all those things are directories, and it's really important to be arranging your things because you don't want it to be scattered and disorganized, especially as you scale and you expand. Like there are a lot of things that will be coming, so you need to be able to arrange those things. And in most web applications, you see that these things are arranged. Like maybe if you're working on a project now, maybe you're working on, let's say, Web2 Bootcamp holiday assignments. You're not just going to litter, oh, my HTML file somewhere, CSS file somewhere, my this file somewhere, my index file. No, you're probably going to keep all of them in one folder. So yeah, that's essence of arranging, right? So let's say, for example, now I'm on this place, right? And I want to change directory. I want to enter maybe the documents folder. Maybe there's something I want to access the documents folder. You write your CD. So CD means change directory, literally. So you see, as I typed CD and I typed this, I literally entered a new folder and I changed the directory. So I'm no longer in the general user folder. I'm now in documents folder. So that is something, right? Let's look at other commands. So are you guys following?
Yes, we are.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure because network is a bit shaky. So in case I hook, my network. Okay. So another way to navigate, right? You can also say ls. So list files and directories. If you want to maybe list all the files in that particular directory, right? What you write is ls. But this is more for a Linux sim because I use Windows. Commands might not work on mine. So that's also another thing to note. Like some commands, because as I said, there are different operating systems, right? There are three main operating systems. So some commands are unique to the Linux operating system. Some commands are unique to Windows. Some commands are this. So some commands ls. So ls is like, okay, list all the files in this directory, and then you say to list everything else. So yeah, I'll look for the Windows version so that we can practice that out. Oh wow, I hear you. Okay, I think I'm back now. Sorry, it seems like I had a hitch there in my network. And yes, apologies in advance. I didn't really prepare for this class because it's meant to be Ekene that takes it, but we have to cover up and we have to impact. And since it's a lightweight topic, yes, it's something that we go on because, as I said, terminals is just your everyday tool to use to navigate your system and your applications, right? Yes. I hope I'm still audible.
Yes, you are.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Mm. Oh. Am I audible now? Oh my god.
It's as if you not be
Tell me
speaking
about the
since.
distraction. I be the hooking. Who do we blame now? Anyways, let's continue. So I was just talking about yeah, the commands. I was saying, okay, let's look for the list files version of the Windows version of list files, right? List files in your directory. How do you list files in your directory? So yes, I said this ls is for Linux, right? So sometimes if you type something, for example, maybe I type one random command, I know there's something like a sudo something. Sometimes you type a command log, it tell you sudo is not recognized. So anytime you see this error, just know that they mean that they don't know what you're talking about. It's either maybe the thing the command you are trying to run, it doesn't recognize it, or it hasn't been installed yet, right? So that's something like, oh, let me look for, maybe if it's something that is working on other people's Windows system, then maybe you need to install something for it to work on yours. But if it's not working, then just it's not for Windows, right? So let's see dir now. So you guys see now, these are all the things in my document directory. Sorry, give me a moment. Okay, so I'm back. So dir is the Windows version of, that ls that is for Linux. Sorry. So it lists everything that is in your system. But if you're someone like me that has a lot of things in your documents folder, you see there's so many things. So it lists everything. So you're not like, oh, okay, I have this, I created this so time, I have this, I have this. Maybe for some reason, maybe your laptop crashed, God forbid. But let's say your laptop crashed, right? And you're trying to see you can just, what am I saying? Maybe like your screen is hooking, or you can't access your Windows Explorer. You can just say enter the directory you're looking for. Say, okay, list everything here, and it lists it. You can then change the directory to the place you're looking for and still type the dir command. So these are some commands, right? So now let's look at some commands that are unique to maybe applications that you're running. For example, for me, I write Laravel code. So Laravel is just like a framework of PHP, right? It's a framework of PHP. We use it for full stack web applications. That's for both the front end and the back end. But me personally, I use it for the back end. But that's just by the way. So it's a full stack application, right? So let's say for it's a Laravel application now on my system, right? There are so many types. I told you guys that, okay, yes, you can use GUI and you can also use CLI for so many things. Like for example, this dir, I could easily just go to my Windows Explorer and just click it and like a normal person and check for what I want to check, right? But there's some many cases that you have to install something. Like you have to fetch it from somewhere. Like maybe you are using a framework. So these things are kind of advanced, but frameworks are kind of like packages of language, like, oh, I want to use maybe JavaScript, but there are some certain things I need in JavaScript, so I'll use a JavaScript framework that will be able to like get those extra things in it. Or let me say CSS, for example, like you want to write CSS code, right? But there are some advanced things you are looking for. The frameworks have those advanced things in them, and they've also arranged some CSS styling. So all you need to do is just to call the class in your code. But before you're able to call the class, because CSS works with the fact that yes, you style something somewhere and call the class in your HTML, and the style applies to it, right? So obviously, before you're able to call a random class and some kind of styling just appears to you, that means you have to have the CSS code somewhere, right? So that means you have to download that CSS code, that already CSS styling, so that all you have to do is now just, okay, please, I want what should I even write? If I want blockchain UNN custom styling to be applied to this header and to just be applied. Why is it applied? Because you have downloaded it from somewhere, right? So for example, now let's say you want to now download those things. You're not going to be searching the web and say, oh, please, where can I download this? No, you're most likely going to use it. Even when you go to the website of the place you're trying to download that framework, they'll tell you, oh, type so command. If you type it, maybe you install something. Once you don't install it, say type so command. Once you type it, then the files will will be downloading into your laptop, so that you can now go ahead and use it for your application, for whatever you want to use. So for someone like me that uses Laravel, so Laravel is just, as I said, a framework of PHP. PHP is like a backend language. So maybe there are some certain backend things I want to do, some certain backend tools I want to use. Maybe I want it because Laravel also comes with login, like it comes with its own like login template as far as login and sign up. Even if you don't write any code, you can just easily log in and sign up quickly with their already templates for logging in and signing up. There are so many things in Laravel, right? So maybe I just want to use, I want a framework. A framework is something that's already, been created to guide you. So I just want to just use a framework so I can easily just do what I want to do quickly. And I say, okay, let me use Laravel. I'll now come. I want to create a Laravel application, because if you want to use a framework, you have to create an application based on that framework. So I said, okay, I want to create a Laravel application so that it's be based on everything that is in Laravel. So all I have to do is just write the custom things I want to do. And then they will be as if I'm building based on something. Just like I want to go and build a house, but I don't have anything to start doing from scratch. So I'll just look for maybe somebody that's already built it halfway. Let me just go and be building on top of that one. That's basically what a framework is, right? So let's say I want to create a Laravel application. What I'll do now, the command I'll write. These are just like some examples, right? The command I'll write to create a Laravel application is I'll just say Laravel new. I'm just showing you examples of how you can also use command lines for specific applications, right? Specific frameworks. Just say Laravel new, and then you write the name of the file. Maybe I want to create the file, the folder I want to create, right? Maybe it's I don't know, any name you want to name the folder. Maybe my application or whatever. Right? So once I do this and I say enter, you see that thing is loading somehow. So here, this is part where you are connected. You have to connect it to the internet, because if you are downloading something, just like you are downloading normal, you have to connect it to the internet now so that you download all those things, right? Yes. And as I said, also most times, once you are doing this type of thing, you have to make sure that this Laravel, it works. It's a command. It doesn't come when they created your laptop. It didn't just come like that. So you have to make sure that you have downloaded or installed Laravel, or installed whatever you want to use to be downloading these things. If it is Node.js or it is React or whatever you are trying to install, maybe you are trying to get a framework, or it is a framework of CSS, you have to make sure that you have downloaded that thing. You have downloaded that package that you are going to now be using to say, okay, anytime I say Laravel this thing, it will just download a Laravel this thing from online. And this thing is very nice because it downloads it from online. So yes, apart from the it's just them downloading It's just them downloading and trying to claim like, oh, I'm doing something very serious. So yes, if you are not, I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can hear
We
you.
stopped hearing you at some point though.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. But you guys get the concept of what I'm doing, right? I said I'm downloading. Where do you guys stop hearing me? Does anybody have any questions? I would love to take questions here because, yes, as I said, terminal is a huge part of the developer's life. Wondering, anybody wondering what's this girl even doing? What's she wasting her time here? What are we doing at all?
Exactly my question, ma.
Like
Okay,
I don't
okay.
even I
Any
don't
other
get
question?
like
I'll attend to you. I see some hands raised. Are these people? Are they trying to ask questions? Are busy a mistake? Okay, I'll just.
my own is no
Okay,
mistake.
okay. Please let's attend to the question
Just
now. While you.
just like you said, just clarify
Okay,
us on why the use of this and why we are doing this.
okay, okay. So
And the
any other question
application
again?
of
I'll
this.
do that. Okay, okay. So as I said, right? I said at terminal. I've given you an example where you can use terminal to um look at what the content of your system, right? You can. So as I said, right, terminal, or should I say CLI, that's command line interface. There are different. So graphics user interface is basically, the normal interface we worked with, where if you want to install something, maybe you want to download a movie one day, or you want to download an application on your system, you just click download, it downloads. You see the installer, it will say, okay, install, 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 next, you've installed, you're good to go. If you want to go through your files, you just say, okay, open your file explorer, you say, okay, I want to click this, open that, you're good to go, right? But so that's one way you can, navigate your system, your laptop. Then the other way you can navigate your laptop is through your command line interface, where you are able to write commands to look at the content of your system. So do you guys understand the aspect where I wrote a command and I was able to look at the content of my system?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one aspect, right? There are so many commands you can write to look at. You can even write commands to delete something. So it's just like CLI, or should I say command line or terminal. They are interchangeable. But command line interface, right? It's just basically a way you can also access your laptop. So I give an example like Linux. People that are using Linux operating system, right? Because there are three different types. There's your Windows, your iOS, and there's your Linux. So people that are using Linux, most of how they operate their system is through command line mostly, right? It's people that are using Windows and Mac that you say, okay, I can easily just press a button, do this, and I get on my life. But people that are using Linux, they mostly operate their system through the command line. So everything they are doing, if they want to open a file, if they want to open a folder, they'll type just so open. Can you guys hear me? So as I was saying, if they want to do anything, it's through their command line. So those type of that kind of way now, they are more used to their command line. But I said, as developers, right, why are we learning this command line? Why don't we just stick to clicking buttons? As I said, as developers, yes, it's by choice for you to navigate your system through the command line. So the first thing is how to write commands here and there, or at least how to research the command you need to write, because you cannot know all the commands by heart. But at least there are some you can be able to research. Oh, if they say type this command, you're good to go. If you want to type this command, type this to install something. Of accessing things, right? So if you want to install, just click this button. They'll tell you, no, go to your terminal and click right so thing and to install, right? So something that you would need to install, some tools you will need to
This I'm not hearing you. This is not the one. Hello, please, I'm not hearing you. Hello? Please, I'm not hearing you. It's not just you. I think our network is bad. Okay, because I'm not hearing her.
Is it just me or the network problem here?
Now you dey talk now. Now,
Hi, continue now. But yes, in case I'm disrupted, just know as I said, network issue. I'm happy that I warned you guys before about the network issues. So sorry about it. Where's my terminal? Let me continue sharing my screen. This command prompt. Oh my sins is okay. Okay. So yes. Okay, this even had an error. Okay, I think it's because of the network issues. So as I said, this one is because the network issues. So it was saying now trying to download from source, it couldn't download, so you just stopped. But yes, if it downloaded well, you would see it. I think I would also still try to download it. So what I was not explaining was why do we need to do this, right? So as I said, there are some certain packages, some certain things you will need in your application. You will need to download it as a developer. If you were just a normal computer user, then maybe all you need your command line for, maybe you need it to, want to use your graphic user interface, or maybe once in a while when you need to correct something in your system, or um you need to install something for some reason, you just use your command line interface, right? That correcting something in your system is very important because there are sometimes that something will be fluctuating in your system. Something will be fluctuating, and you just go online and they'll tell you, oh, type this thing, go to your command prompt. You just be following it blindly. Say, go to your command prompt, type this, type this, type this. I don't know if that happens to anybody. And you type all those things, and then you press enter, it's will correct, it's will work. And be like, how? Why? It's because the command prompt is like the first way that you can access your system. That was the first way. This graphic user interface that you see is very nice and user friendly. You can just press anything or type any. That way is the secondary as far as the computer is concerned. The command line interface has more power because it has access to more things, right? And there are some certain things that maybe are too dangerous for you to touch, like it would be too risky for you to have access to those files, but you can have access to it through your command line interface. Why is it that when you see movies or you see people that are hacking code, they use it through their command line interface? You see them pressing buttons. They say, oh, let me just click this button so that this thing would I'll be able to access this person's account, or I want to delete something. Let me just click. No, they do it through their command line interface because their command line interface, they are able to access more things. Your command line interface has a wider scope. You can access more things. You can do more things in your system through your command line interface, right? So there are millions of commands that you can use to do anything you want to do. That's why I said you just have to be able to know the command to use at that particular situation you're trying to use, right? So what I'm just doing is some basic commands. As I said, I did cd, I did the command for listing everything in your system, that is the mkdir, and then I just did an example command of where you're trying to download something into your system, right? So that's another one too. So let me even rerun the command. I think let me delete the old file because I know you should have created a file before. I need to delete it and rerun it. But do you guys understand me so far? If you don't understand, please feel free to on your mic and ask. Because yes, this is the
I don't
foundation.
understand though.
Okay. What aspect don't you understand?
All of them.
Do you just join now?
Yes, yes.
You just join now. That's why you don't understand all of them. Is there okay, wait first. Is there another person that doesn't understand what we've been doing? Let me know if it's a common problem or if it's something I will have to explain to you again.
I
Good evening.
understand it, just that most times your network is disturbed all the time.
Yes.
So
Sorry
it's
about
breaking.
that. I'm super sorry about that. But yes, I'm going to cover up by asking you guys to ask me questions. So anything you don't understand, in any place I've been hooking, anything you didn't really grab, bro, just ask me so that I can re-explain. Apart from the guy that said he doesn't understand because he's just joining, I'll go over what I thought again. But any other person that like was not grabbing it or something. Okay, I've seen the application that downloaded but couldn't finish. So I'm deleting it now. So yes, okay, here's a task, right? for everybody. Please, you guys should try and open your command line. Maybe change directory to any directory of your choice, right? And also look up something, maybe a command that you want to do. Maybe you want to delete something for your system. Look it up so that you can see. I want you guys to know how to research the commands that you need to do. Maybe because there are different commands. Deleting, accessing files, all of that. These are basic things, right? These are generic things. Anybody can just want to delete or access a file or see what's in their files or change directory, move from one directory to the other. But look up like a specific command you are trying to do. Maybe there's something you are trying to do in particular that you can normally do in your GUI. You can normally do it when you are clicking buttons. You can normally do it with your GUI. So look up a specific thing that you can normally do with your GUI, but you are trying to do it with your command line interface instead. So look it up and try to see the command line, the command they say you should type, and type it in. So you just see the example of how you can do what you can do in your GUI. You can also do it in your CLI and even more. For example, my own, let me say I'm installing an application. So the command they told me is, okay, if you want to install a Laravel application, if you want to, create a new Laravel application, sorry, what you do is you say Laravel new, and then you type the name of the folder, and then the application will be appeared on your system. Then you can work with it. Maybe what you want to do is you want to move a folder from one place to another. Or maybe what you want to do is like anything you feel like you can do or you have done before, but you want to try it out with your command line interface. Once you guys just see the power. So if you have your system, you can try it out. So while I re-explain what I've explained, especially to the guy that just joined now, so I don't want anyone to be left behind. Okay, let me retype my own command while I'm re-explaining. I believe my network is more stable now. So what I typed is I wanted to create a new Laravel application. So I just said Laravel new. Huh?
I can't see what you're saying. I'm just seeing only blockchain.
What I'm writing is down. Can't you see it? Let me scroll.
I think it's his own. I think it's his own network.
Yes, it should be his network because I believe it should be visible now. So I'm typing Laravel new, the name of the particular application. So as I said, Laravel is a framework. So it has some things inside already. Once you install a Laravel application, once you install Laravel, you're going to be able to create any new application you want to create, right? So for example, let me remove this person's mic. So for example, I've decided to create a new application. Maybe what I want to do is I want to do my Web2 Bootcamp holiday assignment, and I want to use Laravel. Like there's some specific things I want to use in Laravel, some specific tools I want to use. That's okay. Let me start. For me to have access to those things that Laravel offers, right? I have to create a new Laravel application so that it's just like I'm creating a new folder that contains those things that Laravel offers, right? So it will create a new folder, and that folder will contain some extra things, some extra folders, some extra materials that I will need in my application, in what I'm trying to build, right? That's basically what we are doing. So just that the act of doing this is you are downloading it from their website. So you are downloading all those things that they have stored up. You're saying, okay, please, I need those things now in my application. So that's why you say, okay, the name of my application should be my application, right? And then it will create a folder called my application, and it will download all those Laravel resources into that folder, right? So if I come and say, okay, Laravel new my application, so I need you to create a new folder called my application and download those extra things inside, those Laravel resources inside, so I can use them in my application. If I say that, right, you see that it start installing. So take note that anytime you are installing something from the internet, just like you're installing from with your normal system, you click download, install, you need internet, right? You need good internet, you need good network. If not, it will just hook and say, sorry, we could not access it, right? So you need good network to be able to install something. So let me go over what I've said already, right? I talked about talked about your command line interface and your graphic user interface. So your graphic user interface is the basic user interface everybody's used to. It's more common. The person I was explaining to, did you just leave the call? Let me know. Anyways, it's more common, right? It's a more common interface. It's what everybody uses mostly. You can easily click a button, say, oh, I want to change, I want to I want to open something. Just click. It's more about clicking and moving your mouse, and you're easily just doing what you want to do, right? It's more convenient to use a graphic user interface. So that is one way we can access our system, graphic user interface. But a command line interface is literally by using commands to access your system. So I gave an example where I said, okay, I want to move, let's say I'm in user folder now, I want to go into my documents folder. I'll just say cd document and I'm there now. And then I give some example that there are some specific commands that are unique to the operating system you're using. So sudo, for example, is something that only works for Linux. It doesn't work for Windows. Some work for Windows, some don't work for Linux. Some work for Windows, don't work for Mac. It depends on the one you're using, but some are constant, like they're unique everywhere, right? So another example I gave is this dir. If you want to see everything in your system, everything in that particular folder, sorry, you're in documents folder, you want to see everything in that particular folder, just like when you go to your file explorer and you click documents, you want to see the document, you just come here, if you click right dir, you'll see all the things in that directory. So everything, so you can easily say, okay, I'm in this directory, please change the directory to so directory, please delete this, please do this. So you're able to now easily do anything you want to do. So these are some commands you're using to navigate your system, and they don't need internet because they are local. They are just anything local. That means it's just within your system. It's within your system. You don't have to connect the internet. You're not installing or downloading anything, right? But the moment you say, oh, I want to install something, as I said, there are some people that don't go online and say a VS Code install, and then it will not install. You download that. Some people, they come to their command and type a command, and that will install from the internet into here through their command line. They don't go to their browser and start clicking buttons to try to install. They come to their command line, type something, and it will install. And that point I explained is that a command line is broader. So there are so many more things you can do with your command line. Some things that are very, like, they are risky. They are, should I say, what's that word? When something is fragile or it's risky, or don't go near this place, right? Some things that they don't want users to just access easily because they can mess up some things in their system. What they do is that they don't make it open to graphic user interface. Some of those things you have to type it from your command line to access it, right? So that's why, as I give an example, hackers, you don't see them. Most times you see hackers, you don't see, okay, let me click this button maybe so that I'll just access person account. Let me click this, so I'll change. So let me do, okay, let me just click. No, you see them coming through their command line interface. So this is the secret we're giving you guys now. They do through their command line interface. They type commands. So there are plenty commands you can type for you to be able to do plenty things. The amount of things you can do through your command line are limitless. So you can type any command, you do something, and then when you come to their command line, they'll type, oh, please, I want to access so thing. I want to do this. And then when they type it, they're able to access through their command line. So some of the things they are able to do through their command line, and they're not even able to do through their graphic user interface, because those things are hidden inner things, right? The graphic user interface is just wrapping everything up, making it, user friendly. Say, okay, these are things you can do. But there are some things that you are not meant to touch because you can mess up your system. But those things you can touch it through your command line interface. That's why you have to be very careful, right, of the kind of commands you also write. So I give you should I say, a classwork of, like, yes, try and a command that you usually do, or should I say an activity you usually do in your system. Maybe you move something from somewhere to somewhere, you delete something. Try and do it through your command line interface so you can see the power, because there's as I said, there are millions of commands, so you cannot really cram many of them, except maybe the ones you use mostly. You can, okay, know some of those commands by heart, like cd, maybe mkdir. You can know those commands, but there are many commands and they are unique commands for different things. So you have to also have the ability to research the command. That's why Google is there. What makes a very good developer is not about the fact that they can cram all the things in their head. As I used to say, you cannot cram everything. even the things you have learned in CSS and HTML, you cannot cram many of all this. Oh, if you want to do this, type maybe if you want to center a div, they'll tell you align items and justify content. You cannot cram. Okay, those ones are common. But let me say there are some unique things. Like for example, maybe for grid now, there is the space, there's the code you write to be able to tell your browser the amount of space you should leave between the grid lines. The grid. There are different, unique, very specific things that you might not be able to cram all the things. Okay, oh, I have everything. I'm a living dictionary. No. What you just need to know is, yes, it is possible. Right? It is possible to do this. It is possible to do that. You understand the concept of how to do it. So if they tell you that, oh, you say, oh, please, I'm trying to rearrange something in my system. I'm trying to reinstall something, but I don't know how to. So then what you need to do is you just need to research. So that's why research is a very key aspect of development. I don't know if there's any developer that exists in this slide. I'll tell you that, oh, I haven't researched about anything. I have everything in my head. I'm just, I don't even open Google. No, you have to be able to research for that specific thing you need, right? So when you research, you're able to research for that specific thing, right? So that's an example. So you see now, I think it's even done installing. And then another example of where we use command line is to run scripts, right? So sometimes, especially for some scripts, like maybe if you guys start coding more and expanding your reach, you see some scripts. I think some JavaScript scripts you have to run them through your command line. But I know of Python too. Like if you write Python code, because now we're entering, I don't know if you guys know, but we're entering the scripting realm. We're entering the realm where we're writing scripts. We are not just talking to HTML and CSS now. We're entering into JavaScript. We're entering into places where we are writing things that are running and actually they are dynamic, right? So you see that some scripts you want to run, like maybe you write let me say you write code for a calculator app. I think that's the most common project. You write code for a calculator app, right? So you write code for a calculator app, and then you want to run the script. Because a calculator app is not static. That's different to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML, CSS is more static. Like, yes, you have designed how it will look. You have done everything is there. If you don't write any function, if you don't write anything so that it will control how your buttons work, it will just be there. Just like you have a calculator, you have a physical calculator in your hand. Oh, the calculator is designed very well. It looks very pretty, everything. If they did not write any code behind it so that once you write 1 + 1, it will work. It won't work. You just write 1 + 1 to be looking at you. Nothing will happen. It won't add anything, right? So those are scripts. Those are scripting languages. So there are some different occasions where you have to run this script through your command line for them to actually work. That's another use of command line where you're able to run scripts, right? And it actually works. So yeah. I have no idea why this thing is doing like this. Okay, I guess it's just some random thing. Maybe the thing just started writing this. But anyways, as you guys can see, the application is ready. It's done. So all of this, it's done. It's ready. Should I share my screen again?
We're not seeing your screen.
Okay. You can't see my screen. Can you see my terminal screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, maybe you can leave and come back so that maybe it's network issues. But I want to show you guys the application now. Okay, yes, I'll show you 2 ways. So for the first way, you can now see the application now. Because where I installed it is documents, right? I installed this in my documents. So this is just the basic process of install. As I said, this is just a unique example where you're trying to install something. You can try to install anything you want, even if it's VS Code, even if it's your favorite game, anything. Sometimes they'll tell you, okay, yes, you can download the installer, but they'll also give you the command you can type in your command prompt so that you can install it from your command prompt. If you don't feel like doing this, right? If you don't feel like downloading it from the website, you can come to your command prompt, type the command, and it downloads into your system. It will download into that directory you are in. So in this case now, I'm in the documents directory, right? So you see that this thing downloaded here. So now if I come again and say maybe I want to see all the files now. I want to see if it really downloaded. Sorry, it seems like I made a mistake. Okay, dir, sorry. So you see now, these are all the files that are there. So let me see what's the name of this thing. I think I named it my application. You see, my application is there now, and it even shows you the date of when it was. This is 12th January. This is 12th January 2025. Showed me the time. Is there? This is the time it was created and everything. So now let me say, okay. I say, okay, please. I just want. I want to change directory there. Let me change directory to my application, right? So as I said, it's a unique example, right? Anything you download, if it's a folder, you can maybe change it. So this is just my example. I want that. I want you guys to personalize it and try these things out. So I change directly to my application. I'm in my application now. I'm in the folder. So now I can say, oh, okay, let me see the things that are in this folder. So you see that it shows me everything that is in this folder now. It shows me everything that is in this folder. Sorry. Let me scroll down. Okay. So it shows me everything that is in this folder. Directory of so thing shows me what's there. I have this, I have this, I have so folder, I have this file, I have everything, I have this, I have this. You can see everything that is there, right? So this is one way. As I said, I told you, anything you can do with your GUI, you can also do it with your CLI, right? CLI is command line interface. GUI is graphic user interface. So even if you guys are not getting anything, you have to gain that, because that's the foundation. Once you know that whatever you can do in your GUI, you can use in your CLI, then you should even be curious to see, oh, what are some things I can do in my GUI? Let me experiment doing them on my CLI and see how it goes, right? So let me show you. I think I'll have to. Okay, let me present my File Explorer. So that I'll show you guys. Okay. Yes. So I'm in my File Explorer now. So you see how my things are arranged. I want you guys to, if you have not copied anything, I've copied this. Make sure you arrange your files. So this is, I'm in my documents folder now, right? So it's just like now I'm in my documents folder and I say, okay, CD, change directory, go to my application, that's the name. So now it's just like now when you say CD, change directory, go to my application, it's the same thing as saying, the same thing as coming to your this thing and saying, so where is my application now? Think, okay, see it here. So yes, it's the same thing. When you say CD, my application, it's the same thing. I'm just coming here and clicking it and saying my application. So you can see this is like the easier, that's why they call it more user friendly. You can just easily, hey, come here, you see the things there. And these things here are the same thing that were on my command line. If you notice, those are the same things that are there. So you see that these are the ways. Like I said, command line is more powerful. So I guess they both have their pros and cons. The command line is more powerful. You can access more things, right? Because all these things are surface level things. You can access more folders that are more like, as I said, fragile. Yes, more sensitive folders. That's why, as I said, hackers, they use your command. They use command line. They don't use GUI because GUI cannot really do much. GUI cannot really. If they're just using GUI, they won't be hackers, right? Because the fact that they're hackers, I mean, they're entering more sensitive corners, right? Whether it's ethical hacking or people that hack for bad intentions. But you see that when you're using your CLI, that the pro is that you can, it's broader, it's a broader scope. You can do more things, right? And it's relatively faster because it's literally your computer system. This GUI was literally coded, was designed. Thank God you guys have done HTML and CSS. You know how people design things. So it's just like they designed it and say, okay, print, show it and make it colorful a bit. But CLI is the main cocoa because it can easily just access wherever it wants to access. So if hackers were using GUI, they won't be fast enough to be able to hack into things and get what they need fast, right? So CLI is faster relatively when you're talking about the speed of operation, and it is also broader. But GUI is more user friendly, right? So that's why you see many people, some people don't even open their command prompts. They don't even know what command prompt is meant to do. They are just that kind of thing. I'm sure that many people here that have not even opened it, but I want to encourage you guys to experiment with it, right? So many people don't open their command prompts and all of that because they're just used to the GUI because user friendly and all of that. But there are some points in time. I don't wish anybody this, but some points in time something will happen to your laptop. You Google, they'll tell you, okay, open your command prompts. Type so command. You see yourself typing it. and that command will work because it has broader scope. It knows it will be able to access some certain configurations to your system that will be able to reset whatever the issue was, right? So that's basically it. Any questions so far? Let me change. Any questions so far? Any contribution?
Good evening. So,
Yeah.
basically, my question was back when you were talking about Laravel and PHP,
Yes.
but I don't think my network was good. So you were saying
Okay.
that if you don't have like a certain application, the Laravel like it's not going to work.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. So what I meant by that is a hair. So in these commands, right? I want to explain the concept to you guys. These commands that we're working with, because if you notice, most of the things we are doing, we're saying so thing cd my application. That cd is a command. You will notice that the cd is the main command. The other thing that comes after cd is just, you know, the specific thing you are trying to change directory to, right? dir is the main command. Maybe it doesn't need any extra thing, because dir just say, okay, show me everything that is there. Laravel is a specific command because it's saying I want to enter Laravel now and I want to do some things with Laravel, right? So you see that those commands, right? Anytime when we talk about terminal commands, it's divided. There are different aspects of it. So there's the main command. That's the action you want to perform, the place you want to tap into, the thing you are trying to actually do in the first place. So if you're trying like writing Laravel now and you don't have Laravel installed, my dear, it will be telling you that it doesn't know what Laravel is. Because once you install Laravel in your system, right, it will install some, it will become with the command to come with different things that you're going to be able to access Laravel. So if you just like now, I'm trying to, let me say I go to a mall now, right? And I have different shops there, but maybe the way the mall is that I can just come and shout. If I shout Miniso bag, the bag will appear, Miniso bag will appear. If I shout shop right, it will appear. But now I come to that mall, and then the mall doesn't have Chicken Republic. It's a mall. I come and say Chicken Republic, right? Be looking at you. That there's no Chicken Republic in this mall. Oh. So we don't understand what you're talking about. It's not an existing command. It's either you bring the Chicken Republic for us. We don't have it here. So unless maybe you want to bring somebody, Chicken Republic here inside the mall, so that anytime you call it, it will come. But by default, we don't have Chicken Republic here. That's the same thing with this thing. If it is not there by default, it won't work. Maybe obviously there's some commands that I say that come by default to your system, like cd is change directory. They come by default with your system. But there are some commands that you have to install. You have to install that application. You have to install that application, so that anytime you call that command, it knows that, oh, it's talking about Chicken Republic. Oh. So everybody will just clear way and wait for Chicken Republic. We say, okay, yes. That's okay. Bring me rice. Install so thing. Delete. Please install this one. Updates. It will be doing. Do you guys understand? So that's the essence, that's the whole summary of the whole thing. That I said this is unique because there are so many millions of applications you can install, commands you can write, whether it's even general to your system or unique to the application you're working with. So it's just about, as I said, researching. You cannot know everything by off head. You cannot expect your system to have everything for you. Sometimes you have to install that thing so that you can now call that command comfortably, right? So it's just like the time I didn't have Python installed in my system, but Python is another language. I didn't have Python installed, and I can say Python. This was you don't know what Python is. Like you are wasting our time. But when I install Python, I say, okay, Python, give me the version. So let me even show you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So that's basically it. So these are another. So when you install something, I think the most common way you can even check if you have installed something is this Python version or so. Sorry, not correct. So. Let me close this. Seems like I typed the wrong thing. Seems doing on that thing. So I said, be very careful with your with your command line, because anything can happen when you don't know what you're typing. I think it's supposed to be Python dash dash version. Trying to close this. Okay, that's closed now. Let me close it. I'll come back again. Out things, because this command prompt, and another reason why we put this here, apart from obviously the fact that I've told you guys that it's very important to developers, another reason is because command prompt is another way you're able to, should I say CLI, not really command prompt, whatever command line interface you're using, that is another way for you to be able to access Git and GitHub. So later Git and GitHub will be explained to you guys. So there's another way you can be able to access this. Git and GitHub, they have their GUI. You can easily click a button, do also things in Git and GitHub, but you can also do it through your command line. Personally, me, I like command line because it's faster for me. I don't know. Sometimes you're doing something to your sometimes your screen will hook, or is so stressful somehow just going, oh, let me click here, or you have to start installing the application so that you can now be able to do it. No, you can just come here. If you have Git installed, you come here, you say Git init, Git add, Git do this thing, and you do everything you need to do within a split second. So me personally, I prefer command line for some specific things. I might not be using command line to be accessing my files, but I can use it for some specific thing that I feel like, oh, this is faster for me, and I can just get about my day, right? So I was trying to show you guys a Python version. I wrote Python dash v. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Python dash dash v. I hope I'm still audible, because this network cannot scatter our class today.
Yes.
I hope everybody has been
You're right.
understanding what I've been doing.
Yeah.
At least you guys have an idea of what, you cannot tell me you don't know what command line interface is, right? Or is anybody still lost?
Sorry.
Okay.
This Laravel new my application that you've been talking about, I use it in my command prompt, and then it's telling me it's not recognized as an internal or external command.
Okay. So can anybody on their mic and tell me the reason?
That is because he does not have Laravel already installed in his laptop.
Or maybe
Yes.
his data is not on, his system is not connected to download it.
Okay, you also say that maybe if you are using Linux and you're supposed to use window, it will not go, something like that.
No, I love these 3 dimensions. I don't know, this gets me excited. Why? Because this is an example of debugging something. When you expect something to happen and it doesn't happen, you start thinking, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? And you start stroking things out. So let's start from the first one. Data. Will it be data issues? Do you have network issues?
No, I don't have network issues.
Okay, so we stroke that
I
out, right? It's not network issues. The network is strong. The network mount. The network is strong enough. Okay, so two more reasons now. Is that are you using? You now have to ask. Okay, we say is it that maybe he's using Linux or something? So we'll now ask: is Laravel as a command? Is it strictly based on Linux or Windows? No, it's not based on Linux or Windows. It's a universal command. So we stroke that out too, right? Whether you're using Linux or Windows or whatever, it's supposed to work, right? So let's stroke that out. Then the third thing we'll now ask is, okay, so the third option is, oh, maybe you didn't install it, right? Maybe you didn't install Laravel. So you now look, if you type Laravel version, or if you type Laravel as a command at all, anything you type Laravel, for me, let me say Laravel version. I would see the Laravel version. You see, my own says Laravel, so I'm showing me that it's Laravel version. Type Laravel version, as you're just seeing on my screen now. So that's the best, that's the quickest way you can see if something is even installed in your system. Just type that. If it's not installed, then If the thing tells you it doesn't know what you're talking about, it's not a valid command, blah blah blah. Like maybe I come and say lar version to tell me lar is not recognized and an internal or external command, then you know that this is not recognized as an, even when you see this error, something is not recognized as an internal or external command. That means you see that it's not even a valid command, because sometimes it might be maybe you type and it's a typo. Like maybe I wanted to write Laravel and I typed Laravel instead or something else. I said, oh, I made a mistake. Or it could be if it's a genuine thing, maybe other people are saying online it's working for them. You Google, you say Laravel version, is it working? They say yes, it's working. It's a valid way, it's showing this. And you now check your own is not working. Is my own different? What's happening? Why? It's because Laravel is not installed. As I said, internal or external command, there are some commands that come default with your system. They are by default in your system, but they're external command. As I said, I gave that example. You go to a mall, Chicken Republic is not there. You now come and shout, Chicken Republic. They'll be looking at you, where is Chicken Republic? Maybe you say, Chicken Republic, I need rice. They'll be shouting, there's no Chicken Republic here now. Chicken Republic is not an internal or external command. Please, what do you mean? Abi, are you talking about KFC? Or what are you talking about? But if Chicken Republic is installed, then maybe there's Chicken Republic. When they build the mall, they put Chicken Republic in the mall. Like, come and say, shout, Chicken Republic, right? It's okay. Chicken Republic here. Okay, let's call the Chicken Republic person. Let them give you right. They'll answer you well, right? So the fact that you're shouting Chicken Republic and it's not there, that means it's not there internally. So the best thing you can now do is maybe bring it. Maybe say, okay, let's bring a Chicken Republic person here. That means you are installing Chicken Republic, right? So that anytime you shout Chicken Republic, right? It's okay. We have Chicken Republic now. Yes, maybe upstairs when we built the mall, Chicken Republic was not there, but now somebody installed or you installed Chicken Republic. So now there's Chicken Republic. Let's bring the rice. Do you understand? So that's why by default some of these things will not be there. But when you install it, you can be able to. So these are like external commands, right? So that's just the basic thing, right? So yeah. Do you guys understand? I hope my example was good enough. Am I audible? Network. Let me check. Okay.
Yeah, audible, ma.
Okay, that's good. So yes, I feel like I've covered the broad aspect of terminal. I feel like with everything I've told you guys basically understand the main concept. You can do anything you want to do. It's all about researching. So let's try something. Let's try moving a file from somewhere to another. So maybe you know the way you say cut, paste, and that place. Like maybe you kept your second year work in your first year folder. It's not meant to be here now. Let me move it to my second year folder. How do you do that, right? So I just hope everybody's thing is on, and you guys also practice, because as I used to say, practice is what makes perfect. If you don't practice this thing, you might not be accustomed to it, and practicing is the best thing you can do to yourself now. So yeah, so let's start. So if you want to move a file to another folder, right? Sorry, I'm back now. So if you want to move a file to another folder, right? From what I'm seeing, because I know there are different ways. From what I'm seeing, they say you have to type the move command. So I want everybody to be following along with me. If your laptop is fairly open, please open it. So there's a command. The first command you type is move, right? And then you have to specify the location that you want to move that file to. You have to specify the location that you want to move from, then the destination, right? So for example, now let me type move first and see what it tells me. the syntax of this command is incorrect. So I have to write the move, then the source, and the target. So let me look for a file in my, what do I want to move now? What do I want to move? What do I want to move? What should I move for you guys? Okay. Okay, I have one thing I want to move. Let me see the name. So you have to be very careful to copy the exact name of that thing you're trying to move so that it copies it. So you have the exact name, because as I said, you're typing move, the file you're trying to move, then the new destination, right? You have to copy the exact name. The exact name of my what I want to move now. Sorry, seems there's a glitch. Okay, so what I want to move is a file titled AW new calendar lookup. Okay, give me a minute. Too many tabs open. Am I still audible? Please, someone indicate if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I hope I'm still audible.
Yes.
But I'm
Okay,
not
thank
seeing
God. I was scared.
something.
Okay, so this is what I want to move. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. I can.
Okay.
Much of what you're doing, I can't see it. So
So as I was writing, AW new calendar
I
lookup.
can't see your
Sorry, lookup. So you have to make sure it's the exact name. Mine is AW new calendar lookup dot text.
I can't see you.
Person
I can't
that
see your
the
screen.
person that can't see my screen, maybe you will join and come back.
Also, is it just my network? Or is every other person's network bad?
It's like the convener just left.
Hi everyone. Okay, let me join with blockchain union account. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about the disruption. Let me just do the last command, so I think we'll be able to round up for today. And yes, this class is recorded, so thankfully, if there's any hitches, you can. So once you guys can see my screen, tell me. So what was I trying to move again? I was trying to move this into a folder titled okay, I have it to folder titled novels or books. So maybe I want to okay, wait. So it has to be the exact name, right? You have to make sure it's the exact name. And I'll also answer someone sent me a message about something. I'll address that too. About a complaint, we're trying out something. It says system cannot find specified. Okay. Let me make sure it's the exact name. I hope I'm audible. Okay, it's not exactly. I made a mistake. First of all, can you guys hear me? Okay, thank God. So, let me start again. The system cannot find. Ooh. I will have to look personally. Okay. Let me try this since it's a folder. Okay, guys, give me a moment to confirm. I hope people are practicing too.
Thanks, tomorrow.
Huh?
The country is on every square.
I didn't hear. What this person say? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Been doing. I have not been feeling it. What's out? Just now,
Sorry, I'm not hearing you well.
You said you can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen. Can other people see my screen?
Most of what we have been doing.
If you can't see my screen, you probably have to. Oh wait.
I don't think you're sharing your screen now.
Okay, let me share it again. Sorry. I was just trying out the move command in the command prompt. And it was kept saying system cannot file the files and cannot find the file specified. Okay, I know why. I know why. This file I'm looking for is in my documents folder. So I have to change directory to documents. So let me use opportunity to answer this person's question. Somebody messaged me and person sent a screenshot that they are trying to change directory. Okay, change directory. You have to make sure that the place you are trying to change directory is exactly what you're trying to change directory to. For example, if I come and I'm writing a directory that doesn't exist, it won't work. Right? Exactly what you're trying to do. Like make sure that when you open your a way to practice, even though I know that yes, I said CLI is a way to, also operate your system, but a way to practice and make sure what you're doing is well is that check your file explorer. Is that like what you're typing? Does it exist in this directory? For example, I know that documents exist in my user directory. If I enter C users user, it exists. But if I come and enter something that doesn't exist, like docu or something, it will say cannot find the parts specified. So they give that as an error. If I come and say document with a small d, okay, the thing entered too. Because some of them are very strict. Like if you write with a small d, you won't enter. But this is not case sensitive, thankfully. So yeah. Or if you come and say, maybe if I go back now, so if you want to go back to directory, this is the command, right? It's literally saying go back, right? So I go back now and I come and say, okay, cd documents. It's not going to work. So you have to make sure it's what you are trying to see actually exists. If even if let's say for example, God forbid, somebody cannot open their they cannot have access to their GUI at all. They are just navigating their laptop through their system. If you type help and saying cannot find its part specified, the error is straightforward. It doesn't know what you are talking about. So you have to make sure that you remember the name, or if not, just do this. dir. That's why this is necessary. You will see all your file names, everything that is inside user. So you can now come and say, okay, I didn't know that. Oh, actually, the name is actually document. So that's the thing you see. So you have to make sure that it exists. So thankfully, your command line is robust enough to cover your navigation of your laptop system. So yes, we're here now, right? I was trying to move something that was actually exist inside here. So this is what I was trying to. I'm trying to move this into this folder. So you see, thing that says one file moved. So guys, can you see this, how beautiful this thing is? That oh my god, let me do it again without, because I wanted to show you guys when it was inside without it there. I know now it won't. Let me unmove it from my VS Code. And then show you guys how it looks. So when I say your command line is robust enough, I mean it. So I've unmoved it now. It's back in documents folder. So let me do it again. So wait, before I do that, let me type the dir so you guys can see how things were before. So this is how the dir. This is everything that is in my documents folder. I have a bunch of folders and everything files. So you see, this is the novel or books folder. I'm trying to move that into, and I have the what's the name, AW, see it here. This is the file I'm trying to move, AW. So you see that even this thing here, to show you the things that are folders. This is folder, this folder, this folder. This is the file. So this is the file I'm trying to move. You are saying it's sitting comfortably. It's sitting comfortably in my documents folder. So you're saying this document is sitting comfortably there, right? And then you see this is the folder I'm trying to move it into. So now what I do now is that I'm in the document, so you have to make sure that everything you're doing, you are in that place you're trying to move. I'm in the document folder. It's just like in your, sorry, let me mute this person's mic. Yeah, I should make the mic to avoid. So I'm in my documents folder, just like you go to a file explorer, enter your documents folder. You now say, okay, I want to move. There's one file called AW, whatever you want to move. In my own case is this. So I want to move this file, AW calendar lookup, whatever. I want to move it into my novel or books folder. You check, you have a novel or book. I want to move it there. Like I'm trying to rearrange, right? What you type is move. Then you type the name of that thing. So move, I think it's AW. You have to make sure that the name is correct. If you are not sure of the name, you can copy the name from here and type it there. AW calendar lookup dot text, because that's how it is, right? Not text. Then right where you're trying to move it to. My own is novels or books, right? And then I put this showing that yes, if I want to enter it, right? So maybe I didn't write something well. It's the same thing with this one. Okay, I think I need to restart. Do I need to restart my command prompt? Because this is showing that it's here. Let me do the dir again. It's showing me that AW calendar lookup, whatever is here. Okay, it's AW new calendar lookup. Wow. I have this like I have issues with my eyes. I wasn't even seeing the new aspect. So this is the name of it. Let me type it again. So the name is move AW new calendar lookup dot text. That's the name of the file I'm trying to move. Trying to move it into my novels or books. So this thing says one file moved, right? So it has successfully moved this from here to here. You see that this was in, if you look before, that this is the before, right? Before versus after. This is sitting comfortably. AW new calendar lookup. This is sitting comfortably in my documents folder before, right? Now that I have moved it, let us check. Sorry. So now that I have moved it, it is kind of task. This is another disadvantage. It's kind of tasky navigating your CLI. This is it before, right? Sitting in my documents folder. So now that I have moved it, let us check. So I'll just type the dir command again so I can see what's in this document. If I don't see this AW new calendar, whatever, then I know it's no longer there. You see, it's no longer there. Because it's arranged alphabetically. It's no longer there now. So if I say CD, let me CD into the novels or books directory. Okay, CD novels or books. It's supposed to be capital B. I don't know. My naming convention is very weird. So CD novels or books. So let me do the dir command again. So you see, these are just things that are there. And now you see AW new calendar lookup is there. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah. I hope you guys have learned a lot. So far we've talked about navigating. This is just navigating locally. You can also install things through commands. When you install an application, you can use the command of that application to walk around that application. As I say, installing Laravel and creating a new application, creating a new Laravel application. Just as I said, install Chicken Republic into the mall, then doing the thing that Chicken Republic offers, right? And I told you easiest way to check if something exists, you say Python dash version or whatever dash version to see if it exists there. So I've told you about internal commands. These are internal commands. All the cd, move, directory, all of that. Those ones are internal commands. And the external commands like installing something into your system and then working with the commands of that thing you install to create new applications of it, delete, whatever you want to do. For example, I don't want to start installing things, but there is another command called npm. I can say npm install. I'm going to put exist, but I say npm install. This npm, I've installed npm into my system for me to be able to write npm install. If you guys try to write npm install and you haven't installed this npm, because npm is a package manager, but that's a story for another day. But if you haven't installed this npm and you're trying to write this command npm install, it won't install anything. It's just looking at it doesn't know what you're talking about. But the fact that I say npm install and it works, that means yes, npm is installed in my laptop, right? And then this npm install is just bringing whatever npm install does is bringing more packages into my system or whatever, right? So npm has to be in your system. It has to be a command in your system, whether it is there already or you are the one that is bringing it. You have to bring it there already. Let me use update so that I don't confuse you guys. Say npm update. So it has to be a command in your system already, right? So you have to make sure it's a command in your system already. If it's not a default command, you have to bring it into your system somehow. Then you can be able to play around with that command and do whatever you need to do, right? I don't want to put npm in this system. Let me just see the npm update. I don't want to do this, but I just want to show you guys how it works. So you see that it's now, as I said, most of these external commands, when you call them, they are collecting the information. Whatever you ask it to do, like now I said updates, it's collecting it online. It's now, okay, updating to my system, right? But you have to make sure that those things are there. Just like I said, Laravel new application. That Laravel, before I can write Laravel new application, that means Laravel is installed in my system. That's when I'm able to now, collect more Laravel things, right? So, yeah. It's even loading. Let me just close it. I don't want again. So I hope you guys have learned a thing or two about internal commands, external commands like git too. Yes, I think the last thing I'll show you guys is git, but I'll show you guys with the terminal in my VS Code. Oh, my VS Code is not open. I'll show you guys terminal because there's also terminal in your VS Code. This command prompt is just an example of a terminal. There are different terminals, right? Terminal is the same thing as command line interface. Let me break it down. Terminal is the same thing as command line interface, right? So there are different terminals or command interfaces. So you have your command prompts. You have the one in your VS Code. If you want to quickly install something and you're still coding, you can just open the terminal, type something. It just works exactly the same way your command prompt works, right? But these are just different applications. They're just different, terminals. Yeah, just like where we have different browsers. Browser is the general thing, but there are different browsers. There's Chrome, there's Microsoft Edge, there's Brave. There are different examples of browsers, right? That's the same way there are different examples of terminals or command line interfaces, right? So yeah, you have your command prompt and you have this inbuilt terminal in your this thing. So this is just me writing my code jejely, blah blah blah. Don't mind the code. The main thing is the terminal now. But let me show you how to open terminal in your VS Code. In case you are lazy like me and you don't like opening your command prompt, just like using your terminal in your VS Code. Try for some not really heavy things. You just want to quickly do something. Just you come to this site, this dot aspect. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Oh, my screen is visible. Okay, it's visible. So you come to this dot aspect. There's this dot, right? Come here, hover on this terminal. I just new terminal. That's all. You click it. There's a new terminal. You create a new terminal. So once it loads everything, you can be able to write your commands as you usually write. So you can write your git commands, whatever command you want to do, whether it's an external command or an internal command. You can say cd, you can say move, you can say npm install, you can say laravel, whatever, you can say git this. So yeah, but the git command and everything will be explained to you guys in that class. I think that should be the next class. So you explain more about git commands, whether it's using GUI, the GUI interface where you can easily click buttons, or using the terminal where you use commands. So yeah, is there any questions so far? I hope there are no questions, because we're kind of wrapping up now.
Ishma, is there slide on this class tonight?
No, there isn't slides actually. If you're confused, just have to rewatch this video. There aren't
Can you
slides. Yeah.
can you refer YouTube
But do not
channel?
fear, do not fret. It just sounds scary now because maybe you are new to it, right? As I said, it's just broken down into internal and external commands, and yeah, from there it's just about writing commands and running it. It's just like you're navigating your system, but instead you're writing commands to navigate it, or you're installing something. Instead you're writing a command to install something. That's basically it, right? It's just another way of doing tasks on your system. So yeah. So I think we'll be closing the class now. My terminal doesn't want to open, so let's leave it. But yeah, it's basically the same. It will just show the same thing. I need to show C users user or whatever directory you're in at that point to show it, and just write your code. So the Git class will cover more about Git commands. Yeah, so that's why it's very necessary that you have this fundamentals, because the person that is teaching will probably teach about the GUI, as I said, and then command. So that's why it's very necessary that you guys had an understanding of terminal command. So when you start talking about Git command, you won't be asking, oh, what's terminal? No, you have an idea. So yes, I think let's call it a night. I hope you guys have a lovely week. If you have any further questions, you can communicate it on the platform. Anyone can answer. So yeah, this video is recorded. You can easily go back and watch it. Yes, thank you so much. So you guys know that this class was impromptu for me. I usually just come here and leave. Well, yeah, due to some issues, I had to just cover up quickly. So yes, thank you. That's why it's good to practice. If I haven't been practicing this thing, I would not even teach this class, because I would just say, no, I'm leaving it. Because I've been practicing, I'm used to commands, right? So yeah. Okay, so I'll be ending the recording now. So thank you guys. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. Someone said literally the most I've understood in the class. Thank you so much, Lois. Yeah. Okay, so let me stop streaming. Okay, so bye guys.